I am going to drag a barrel right now. Okay, so first of all, I think it's probably gonna scare Koda. I'm anticipating that, but that's... Okay, so me and Koda just went on a trail ride and we went into the desert and trotted around some trees and stuff. I didn't get any footage of that, but the point is he's kind of got some sweat on now, and I feel like I kind of have him worked where I want, where he's ready to listen. So we're gonna go back to the arena and do just a little bit of work. It might just be like 5 or 10 minutes of some work to get him ready for live steers soon. So we're on our way home. We're gonna do that. This is a perfect setup I have with Koda to show what I would ideally like to do with a rope horse, with a horse in general, to teach them to rope. So come with me, I'm gonna show you some drills. Tina is training her little 2-year-old right now, and he's doing so good. She's practicing riding him outside and stuff. It's kind of nice this time of year. We don't get as many horses to sell, and so we get more time to ride colts, which we both really like to do. He did good. Are you just zigzagging through the trees? I was videoing it a little bit. Yeah.
This is my weird neighbor.
This is Little Man.
Oh, he's funny.
He looks so pretty. He's all cleaned up now too, huh? Okay, so Koda has already roped steers, calves, stuff like that outside and drugged them to fire or things like that. So the weight isn't a problem for him. I am going to drag a barrel. Okay, so first of all, I think it's probably gonna scare Koda. I'm anticipating that, but that's okay because it's lightweight, so I'll be able to handle it kind of with my rope if I just need to pull it separately or something. And there's a bug on me. And so I'll be able to handle it so it won't be bad. And I just want him to kind of get to where the rope going on his butt that way is okay. We can trot around with it and he gets used to the noise. All of that's okay. Like, this is also just desensitizing him to random things that could possibly scare him. And he's just gonna learn to get over it, and that I'll teach him that it's not gonna hurt him, because horses naturally have this flight instinct. So we have to kind of always teach them, you don't have to run away from things. It's okay. It's not gonna hurt you. So that's what we're going to be doing with the barrel and dragging it around. And then I'm also going to be using my legs to kind of maneuver him in ways I would like to really do on the steer. And I'd like to start him on the head side. I like to start most of them on the head side, kind of teach him to run to the steer. Later on, then we'll teach heeling. I think it's easier to teach a head horse to heel. So we're going to start off with that and just kind of video that, and maybe I'll do some voiceover and show, but you guys can also just watch, and we'll kind of go throughout and desensitize him to pulling the barrel and also get him used to doing that for roping. And in a couple days, we'll be roping live steers on Mr. Koda Bear. Koda is a 5-year-old. He came from the Pitzer Ranch. He has the same mama as my good horse Shorty, and his dad is Mr. Goldbucks. And I am going to be riding Koda. The plan would be to ride him at the HPI competition. So we're gonna get him roping and doing some barrels and stuff like that and get him ready for that. And he's had lots of outside riding, trail riding, stuff like that. So he's ready for arena work. Okay, so I'm getting started by dragging the barrel around him, making sure he's okay with it. He doesn't show me any signs that he's going to be super bothered. So I go ahead and get on, and I'm going to make sure that I'm doing this on the right side, because that's realistic to how if you are heading a steer and pulling it or dragging a calf, usually on the right side. And then I'm just going to really focus on kind of picking his shoulders up, moving him over, keeping engaged, kind of keeping a little bit of an arc to when I pull the barrel. And then the most important part and kind of the purpose of all this is getting him to face that barrel. That's the main reason why I'm kind of doing all this work, not just to pull the barrel around, but I want him to know ever too, if he feels like he's in a sticky situation, he needs to turn and face the barrel, because that way we're never going to get tangled in a rope. If he tried to turn the other way, the rope would get wrapped around him and you could get hurt. So he's got to turn and face. So I got to teach him that. That's pretty important. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to pull this around, kind of keeping him arced with his right side of his nose in a little bit. And then when I want him to face, I'm going to pick my hand up, pick the bridle reins up a little bit more on the right side. See right there? And then I'm going to use my right foot, and I'm going to reach it back and try to get his hips to step over and get him to face. And then kind of my little turn out of that, that's like his release to actually facing. Okay, I was totally wrong. Koda did awesome. He was not afraid at all. He has spooked us on other things, and for some reason, usually this blue barrel, like the plastic sound and kind of how it will bounce up in the air because it's not super heavy, will scare them. And he totally wasn't afraid at all, so that's awesome. And he did really good, and it was like 5 minutes of just kind of doing that after our long trot. You know, going on a long trot like that, though, came back and he was already tired, so he's like probably super willing to listen. So, you know, we'll make that fun. And then I am making sure to uncinch by the barrel, uncinch, and I'm hanging out here and kind of scratching his head and like, oh, this is the good place. This is where it's gonna be so fun to come to work. Kind of the theory behind it. I am super happy that Koda did so good. Usually the horses, like the ones that are afraid of it, they just kind of blows their mind at first and then they get over it really quick. At least the last horse I did this to was Bumblebee. That's kind of how he responded, but Koda seemed to handle everything super well. Hey guys, so day one yesterday was with Koda, starting him getting into the roping. He did awesome with the barrel. He exceeded my expectations. I did not think Koda would do that well because he has been spooky. Okay, the wind has been blowing too, and call me crazy, I think a lot of people will agree with me. Horses don't like the wind. They'll act kind of spooky in it. And so yesterday and today the wind hasn't, and it's not going to blow as much. So maybe that does have something to do with it, because Koda has been spooky, but then yesterday he wasn't as spooky, and then he did awesome with the barrel. But that was great. So today, day two, we're going to move on. So he did great with something super lightweight that does make noise too. So today I'm going to ride him in the arena. I'm actually going to like work the barrels as a warm-up because he is in the HPI. And remember, the HPI, September in Nebraska at the Pitzer Ranch. It's that competition where eligible horses do 5 events. They head, heel, do the trail course, sort a cow, and run barrels. So I'm gonna warm him up on the barrels today, and then moving on with the roping training, I'm going to drag the team roping dummy around today. And so it's a lot heavier, so he'll really get to feel like how I want his body to move and the pressure that's gonna be behind the rope when that happens. And I might just kind of like work him too and then go let him sit in the box and kind of walk him in and out of the box a couple times. Because I feel like pretty quick we're going to be roping live steers on Koda. I feel like he's going to be ready for it. So this is great. I can kind of make it a couple day series into one video. And so Koda did great yesterday. Let's go do the dummy today. Okay, so Koda has been super in my hand and great. This is the bit I've been using on him. I love it. It works super well on young horses because it's not a lot of bit, and like right now if I'm having to pull on them more, you know, we'll use that. Koda did great. Barrels day one. We'll keep working on that kind of with Koda. I think it's going to be getting him to kind of snappy up his foot speed. He's not like, he's kind of just lagging with that, you know, not being responsive on a dime. So we'll just kind of work on that a little bit, but that's okay. He does good overall. It's just there's a couple things in the barrels, but doing really good overall. So now we're gonna just pull the team rope and dummy around a little bit, and he did so well with the barrels. I expect this to go pretty well as well. Okay, usually for this, if I just wrap the rope around that part, it stays pretty good. And then I'll just set my phone up so I can kind of video, but I'll pull it around like I would on the head side and kind of do what I did yesterday, kind of making him arc and pull and then turn and face, and really kind of get that snappy turn and face, and then I'll always just kind of teach him that that's the move. So let's do this. Okay, so same concept here with the dummy as we were doing with the barrel. This is a little heavier. Koda is a little bit more watchy of it. The nice thing about it being heavier is when we are coming time to face, there is a little bit more encouragement because it's a bigger reward to face on a heavier object. Okay, so right here, I'm gonna pick up, use my right leg, push him, he moves off of pressure, steps over, great, very, very good job. Okay, Koda does great on this one. It's a really good example. As soon as I pick him up, he brings that nose right to the right inside. His legs swing over, he backs up, shows me that he's on his back end, his front end is free. Really, really good. Then right there, I'm crossing his legs over, really crossing him, kind of teaching him how to move over, and we're going to pull the weight. He's doing really, really good with all of this. Okay, to get started, I'm gonna show Koda the spot I want to be in. We were actually having four-wheeler troubles right here, so it's kind of good. We just would go along, the four-wheeler wouldn't go so good, but it was good. I was able to kind of show Koda and rest in the spot where I wanted him to stay. When we switched out quads and got one that would go a little faster, got to work some drills a little bit. So I have Cisco just kind of go around in some zigzags and circles and different things, and I'm going to show Koda that no matter what direction we're going, there's a certain spot to be. That's my spot. And then right here, I go ahead and actually kind of pretend like I turn the steer off. And this is a really cool clip because it kind of shows everything come together. Hey guys, I totally meant to get on earlier while I still had Koda. We had some other stuff going on, but I'm gonna jump on now. I'm hiding out in the tack shed because the wind is blowing a million miles an hour and it's dusty. But I just wanted to get on and say thanks for coming along this multiple day process with Koda and I. It was super fun to take you guys with me and show a real life scenario, you know, situation of what I would do with the horse. And I really would take it back to step zero if I got even a horse like Koda that came with ranch and roping experience. Take it back to step zero, make sure you don't miss anything, see if there's any flaws. I did start Koda myself, and that's kind of nice to continue working with a horse that you started, just because then you did it the way you know. There's a couple things I taught Koda that I'm not super happy with, and I was kind of trying out different methods and I was still learning. I was young, but we'll have to work through those, and I'll kind of show you guys what I did and like why I didn't like it and why I do it differently now, because I learned the hard way. I learned why I'm gonna do it a different way when I start other horses. But anyways, Koda did great with pulling the barrel, pulling the dummy. I got to show you guys how I'd like to move his body, step his feet over, kind of arc, get in position. And then when we roped the dummy, when Cisco pulled the dummy from me, it was awesome to see it all come together, and he nailed it. He did great. So I'm super excited to rope live steers. You're not going to want to miss that. Make sure to subscribe and follow along. If you liked this video, like it. If you like videos like this, make sure to stay tuned because I'm going to have lots more training videos and training tips. I have more horses, more young ones coming up, so I'm going to be teaching them new things, and I want to take you guys with me. I think that the best way to learn something is to teach other people, so it's kind of fun for me to make a video teaching you guys, because ideally I want to learn how to do it the best way possible also. So if you like that, if you like learning, coming along, make sure to subscribe and follow along, and I want to thank you guys for watching my videos so far. I really appreciate it, and I've been having lots of fun making them. So thank you. Till next time.